This is Sheriff Spotlight with the Rockingham County Sheriff's Office, highlighting the office and deputies dedicated to providing law enforcement services and maintaining the trust and support of Rockingham County citizens, all while keeping neighborhoods and communities safe.
Good morning, Rockingham County, North Carolina. My name's Sergeant Kevin Southard. I'm the Public Information Officer for the Rockingham County Sheriff's Office, and you're tuned into Sheriff Spotlight with the Rockingham County Sheriff's Office. In the studio with us today is Rockingham County Sheriff Sam Page. Good morning, Sheriff.
Good morning. Good to be here.
Now,
We're at the end of the year.
we are at the end of the year, and Christmas is upon us. We've got a lot to cover during this podcast, and first things first, though, I'm going to let you give kudos to your former alma mater on their recent state championship.
Yes. Last Saturday, the Reidsville Rams were victorious. They have now got their historical 21 championship wins, and we just want to say congratulations to the Reidsville Rams, to the coaching staff, to all the fans and supporters for again being behind our team. And they did a great job. Anytime any of our teams, any of our high school, middle school teams get out there and they do good, we want to get behind them and support them. And we just want to support our kids.
21 state football
21
champions.
state wins there.
Wow.
You know, I probably told you this before, back in 69, 70, my brother played on the championship team, so was able.
Yeah.
So
All right.
so anyway, so we go way back, but again, we're just so proud of our teams. We're proud of our schools, proud of our kids. And again, I was able and blessed to be able to come out and watch. I watched a lot of football games from across the county, but when it got into the championship process, I was able to get out and see a few more of the games. And they had some tough games leading up to the conference championship,
Right,
then up
right.
to the not national, but to the state championship last week. So again, I listened. I didn't get to get out to the stadium, but I was listening on the broadcast. And it was almost like being there.
Right.
But they did broadcast it on cable, and a lot of people tell it was a good football game, and it sounded like it was a pretty tough one.
Right.
But again, they fought hard, they won, and we say congratulations to the Reidsville Rams on your victory for 2019, 21 wins.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
21 championships.
Now, like you had pointed out just a few minutes ago, it is the end of the year, 2019. Today is actually December the 18th, 2019, as we are taping the show right
Before
now.
Christmas, yeah.
There are a few things that we need to talk about here with Christmas coming up so quickly. First of all, I would like to thank all the people that donated to our 2019 toy drive for our local Salvation Army. Sheriff, why don't you talk about that a
Well,
little bit?
I'll tell how that came about is our deputies, our staff, we first got involved with the No Shave November. And, you know, during that process, the deputies, staff were allowed to not shave for that 30-day period. They make a donation. And then that donation went to St. Jude's Hospital, Children's Hospital.
Yes, sir, over $800.
And then we did very well on that. So we said, you know what, we want to do something. We're rolling into our Christmas season after Thanksgiving. Roll into our Christmas season, and you know, we want to make sure that we do our part to help our kids in our community that may not have a good Christmas, but we want to help them have a good Christmas. So we did the No Shave December. And our financial proceeds donations went to the Salvation Army of Rockingham County, and the Salvation Army of Rockingham County, you know, services the whole county. And I think, based on talking to Mr. Lee, the commander, Major Lee, I believe that they had like 1,000 families that were countywide.
It was a little over 1,000 families that they were helping this Christmas season.
So we began our donation, our drive. We always do a toy drive also. I know that the other agencies in the county are doing the Shop with a Cop. They're doing other programs, stuff like this, and then also supporting the Salvation Army. Right. So everybody got involved. And we went over there with, you said, about two or three truckloads or 2 or 3 vehicles loaded with toys that were collected, purchased, and then we went over and I got to go into the room to the gymnasium area where they had boxes and boxes as far as you could see
Right.
that were for toys for kids and stuff like that, that they were sponsoring and stuff. So again, we got to see where our toys we collected were going to go to
Exactly.
to help with the process. And I just want to thank all of our deputies that supported this fundraising effort to help our children in Rockingham County. I want to thank the Salvation Army of Rockingham County for what they do to reaching out and helping families. And I also want to thank all of our citizens across Rockingham County and our law enforcement agencies that help support these type of efforts, and our Salvation Army.
Because they're the ones that make it happen.
Yeah.
The Salvation Army's hard work, and the citizens of Rockingham County giving. It's not just toys. They will be receiving, the needy families will also be receiving food and clothing this holiday season. You know, there's a lot of different drives this time of year for various things. We took on the toy drive, but I know that they also have various food drives and clothing drives and stuff. So the families are taken care of this time of year, but it's like you say time and time again around this time of year that need is not just
it's not
holiday.
just a holiday time, it's
Right.
a year-round event.
Exactly. The need is there in March the same as it is in December.
Right. Hunger, homelessness, and need is out there. It's a year-round event. And we see it in law enforcement because we're out in the communities, we're talking to people, and we see people in need. And so we just wanted to do our part. It's just one member of the community making an effort to help others. So it was very good. I do want to thank Major Lee for letting us come in and take some videos and stuff like
Very
this.
gracious. Very.
And we want to thank all the law enforcement agencies that help contribute toys and support for our Salvation Army in Rockingham County. I was
The
talking
county government.
County government.
They did their part
I
as well.
talked to our chairman of county commissioners, former chief of police in Eden, Reese Pirtle. The same day we were over at the Salvation Army on the Reesville side, they were doing the distribution over in the Eden side.
Right.
But again, you know, Salvation Army, and we've been working with them for years, support our whole county.
Yes, they do awesome work. Awesome work.
So our hats off to everybody.
All right.
And Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. And speaking of Christmas, we had the privilege of being able to participate in this year's Christmas parades around Rockingham County. And I know that you were in all of them, except for Wentworth got canceled on
Because of the
weather.
weather,
Yes. But and they usually have a great one too, and it's a lot of fun. All the parades, that's one of the things that I enjoy doing this time of year. Being in the parade and seeing all the smiling faces and the kids' excitement and stuff like that. It's awesome.
Again, you know, it was a fun time. We usually have 6 parades in the county, Christmas parades, and last week we were supposed to have 3 at one time, or you know, the first one, then we go to the other 2,
Right.
Madison, Mayodan, and Wentworth. But Wentworth did get canceled, but we saw a lot of kids. We threw out a lot of candy.
Oh, yeah.
And so we hope the kids got some of those Tootsie Rolls out there. And but we had a fun time, and I think the staff enjoyed it because we rotate our staff. You know, different staff members help support the different parades and stuff like this. And the fun thing is I get to participate in all of them.
Well, exactly. And one of the great things about my job as crime prevention officer and public information officer and so on and so forth, being able to go out into the community and do things like the parades and meeting folks, the festivals and stuff. A lot of times when people see members of the sheriff's office, it may not be on their best day. You know, something may have happened.
Well, that's law enforcement in general.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I love being able to get out and just, you know, socialize with the kids and the people, the adults, and just everybody on a good day.
People get to see you as people.
Exactly.
And not just as an enforcer, but they see you as a protector, as someone who cares, and someone who's giving back to the community.
Exactly.
And that's what we.
That's probably my favorite thing about what I do here.
It's giving back.
Is exactly being able to go out and talk to the community and give back.
And educate the public about what we do. Sometimes people have their own notions about what law enforcement is all about, but having you as a public information officer, you help us to communicate our message and let the public know, let the public see, let the public hear, and also engage us in these public events so they know who the sheriff's office is.
Exactly.
And that's one thing we want to do with our podcast is we want to take once a month, we want to make sure that when there are activities going on that's of interest to the public, we want to make sure they know what's going on and also what we're doing interacting with those issues.
And to the people of Rockingham County, North Carolina, if you would like to receive our email news releases, we do those regularly. I send those out almost on a daily basis, telling you arrests we've made, who we may be looking for, stuff that's going on in the community, so on and so forth. You can do that by going to our website at rockinghamsheriff.com. Again, that's rockinghamsheriff.com. And if you're out there and you're not a Rockingham County citizen and you're just curious about the events that are going on in Rockingham County, North Carolina, or have family here, if you want to sign up for that, it's easy to do. There's a link there about halfway down the home page. You click on that, you sign up. It's going to send you an email to verify. You click that, you're all signed up. And then if you want to unsubscribe, you have that option at any point in time.
How do you pick up and subscribe to the podcast?
Well, now we're on we're on various platforms. I believe 8 different ones. Is that right, Roy? Roy Sawyer's been great with helping us get this up and running. Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spreaker. What are some of the other platforms there? Thank you, sir. Let's see, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Castbox, Deezer, Podcast Addict. We're on any of these at this point in time. Roy, again, we can't thank you enough. I can't thank you enough for helping us get into this platform. You know, this is something we've been interested in doing for a little while, and we finally just dipped our toe in the water, so to speak. So we're happy to be out there and doing this on all these great platforms here. You can tune in. We were talking about it earlier. You can tune in and listen to us in your truck now.
Yeah. So if you connect your phone to your vehicle and you want to listen to this podcast, you look under.
You can look under Sheriff's Spotlight with the Rockingham County Sheriff's Office. And that should bring
Rockingham County,
North Carolina. Rockingham County, North Carolina. Now, I will say this: there are a lot of people don't know this, but there are like 5 different Rockingham counties in the United States.
But there's only one Rockingham.
But there's only one Rockingham County, North Carolina. Exactly right.
And we are the #1 sheriff's office in the nation.
Hey, look, I think so too. I think so too. So, yeah.
All right, what else we got going on?
All right, so let's talk about Bob the Tree. Help Incorporated, Bob the Tree. Now that's a Christmas tree that they put up. They've got the little giant googly eyes and the Christmas hat. That is currently at our Rockingham County Governmental Center. They are selling tiles that they will put on
the tree.
Exactly, make ornaments.
They're $5 a piece.
Exactly, and you can decorate them however you want to. And those donations go to Help Incorporated, which is our
Tell them about Help Incorporated
domestic violence and sexual assault advocacy center here in Rockingham County. They also run Kaleidoscope, and they're working toward, all these donations are going toward what they call the Square One Family Justice Center, which will be an all-inclusive, one-stop building where all of these services will be available to citizens.
If someone is a victim of domestic violence, elder abuse, child abuse, or sexual assault, it's a one location you can go to instead of going to multiple different agencies. You go to one location to get the support that you need and advocacy on those issues.
Exactly.
And so again, like I said, we're working toward doing that. We're working toward raising money for our building. And again, Angie Bowles is our executive director. I'm formerly on the committee, on the board.
On the board.
And also, you're a former domestic violence investigator, special investigator.
For several years, yes,
right,
sir.
Exactly.
The need is there, and it's terrible. I wish it wasn't, but the need is there.
Well, what you just said right there is, you know, I've worked in law enforcement for more than 30 years, and I've seen how people in the past years view domestic violence and the enforcement end of that, how we enforce. And I've seen a lot of changes in the system and stuff like this. But I'm seeing more and more support for our victims of domestic violence, more and more support for our victims. And, you know, last year in the legislature they passed Marsy's Law and stuff like that, which are requirements that you must provide for our victims of crime victims. And so again, I think putting the victim first is most important. And, you know, we have a lot of people, young and old, that may be affected by these different offenses. But thank goodness we have Square One, Family Justice Center, working toward getting an actual facility, housing all those entities to help our victims of those different type issues.
Exactly right. And if you would like to donate to Help Incorporated, feel free to reach out to Angie Bowles, who is the executive director.
You can call 342-3331, area code 336-342-3331. Ask for Angie Bowles. If you'd like to make a donation, you talk to Angie. She's the executive director. I've worked with her many years. Worked with her many years.
Cause. All right, now we're talking about Christmas trees, and I know that you've been kind of quiet about this and didn't want to make a big deal about it, but I think it's a big deal, so I'm going to bring it up here on the podcast today. Tell us where you spent December 5th of this year, and the special occasion that was December the 5th for you and your wife.
Well, I was going to tell you, as you know, I like to go to Washington every now and then,
right,
and visit. There's a lot of history up there. And what I did was, I got invited several weeks ago to come up to the White House on the 5th of December. For a Christmas reception with the President and the First Lady. Now, I wasn't the only person there. There were there were about 400 or 500 people there.
Sure. But it was the national Christmas tree lighting.
It was. So
I mean, that's huge.
But I got to tell you that. I got to tell you this. Before I get to the White House, I got to tell you this. The Wednesday night we got up there, the first the night before, we went up to got our hotel room, and then contacted our Congressman Mark Walker, and we had the opportunity. He took us over to after dinner, took us to the Capitol, and in the Rotunda area. If you go with Mark, he's going to give you a tour, and he's going to tell you some history here too. But when we got into the Rotunda area, I was amazed at the acoustics in there. You look up and see all the paintings and everything under the dome. Well, anyway, so what happened was the Liberty University choir from Liberty University out of Virginia, they came up and they sang 3 songs while we were there. And when they would sing one of the verses, they would sing one of the songs and stuff like this, and stop. The sound would carry for like 3 seconds.
Wow!
So that was pretty cool.
That is awesome.
But it was 3 beautiful songs they sung. And then of course, when we left there, we saw some of the Christmas decorations around the city and stuff like this. It was really pretty. I thought it was pretty solid. The Christmas tree, almost in line with the Washington Monument. I was looking at it, so I got that picture.
Right.
But then the next night, or the next evening, about 4 o'clock, we ended up got up to the White House, and were received. And we got in there, and it was wonderful. Every room. It's history in every room.
Oh yeah,
but every room had Christmas trees. North Carolina had its own Christmas decoration on one of the Christmas trees. All the other states had theirs, and they had the Marine Band. I think they had the Air Force Band, and I'm sure they had the Army up there too. There were different branches and all branches of the service were represented in there, and they were hosting and kind of guides too, and plenty of food.
I did see some pictures.
I took some pictures of the food.
Yes.
And I will say mighty fine.
I'm still talking about it. It looked like quite the spread from the pictures you showed me.
I'm still talking about the desserts and the fried green tomatoes. I like them fried green tomatoes. But again, like I said, we want to thank the President and First Lady for inviting us up. The President came down from upstairs, and spoke with everybody along with the First Lady. And then after the event where I was at, and we still stayed for a little bit after the President left, then he went outside, and then and the First Lady did the Christmas tree lighting. So it was really, really neat. Yeah. And it was thousands of people out there and stuff like this. But it was a beautiful time to be in D.C. There were a lot of beautiful Christmas decorations inside the White House. I complain sometimes about having to take me a while to set up my Christmas decorations.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I just can't imagine how long it took to set all those beautiful Christmas decorations.
Well, I watched the actual lighting of the Christmas tree when Melania pushed the button and turned the lights on and all of that. And I was thinking to myself at that point in time, my goodness, I wonder how long it took, that giant tree, I wonder how long it took to decorate that, put all those lights on there.
Absolutely.
And I mean, it just, I was awestruck.
Well, it was a very beautiful and festive time. I appreciate the opportunity to be able to be invited up to participate. I thank the President and First Lady for giving me the opportunity to do that. And it's something that I can tell my kids and grandkids about.
Absolutely.
Because you don't get to do that every day.
Not a lot of folks can say that they've been invited to the White House tree lighting ceremony. But
it was nice. It was nice.
Awesome,
it was a very enjoyable. It was a very enjoyable time, and we appreciate it. And so again, of course, we have to come back to Rockingham County and get back to work. And got back to work, and then next thing you know, we're into the Christmas season, and we're about ready to take a few days off here next week.
Exactly. Now, with the holiday season upon us, there's a couple of things I want to run across right quick.
Let's go through some of the safety issues that we see and stuff like
delivering packages. Well, let's talk about delivering packages. This year, more than half of all the Christmas shopping that is being done, holiday shopping in general,
online,
is going to be online. That means that there's going to be the UPS trucks, the FedEx trucks, and the post office. They're running packages.
What
here.
should you do if you're expecting a delivery?
If you're expecting a delivery, now you can check in with the tracking number where you ordered the
You know
item,
what's coming. You know what's
and
there.
they'll tell you almost to the exact time that they plan on dropping it off. If you can't be there, ask a neighbor to come out and pick it up and bring it in for you, or a family member or something to come and get that off of your porch, because you know, you've heard the term porch pirates.
Exactly.
Where they pull up and it looks like nobody's home. They run out and they grab the package and they take off with it. And, you know, it's very popular.
Or if you get notified on your smartphone that, hey, your package has
delivered.
arrived, go home and pick up your packages and stuff, because if you don't, there might be some porch pirates maybe looking to pick up your packages.
Also, keep an eye out on your mailboxes, your neighbors' mailboxes, because this time of year, what are we sending and receiving? Cards. What's in those cards? Sometimes it's cash, sometimes it's gift cards, and thieves are looking for that.
And in your neighborhoods, you know, a lot of times we see a lot of our residential burglaries during the daytime, not the nighttime, the daytime.
During bankers' hours.
During banker hours. So because a lot of people know that a lot of people are at work and stuff like this. So if you see a suspicious vehicle, or somebody sees a suspicious vehicle in your neighborhood, contact law enforcement then.
Now,
don't wait.
And if you're going out of town, not only for the holidays, but any time during the year, and you want to call us to have a keep check put on your residence. Sheriff,
Right.
tell us what a keep check is. That's a free service from the sheriff's office.
Basically what it is, if you know you're going to be going out of town for a few days and you want somebody to check on your house, if you'll call over to the sheriff's office at 336-634-3232, 336-634-3232, you give them your location, your address, your car's alarm system, if you have an alarm system, emergency contact number, your name and everything like this, and your address. We'll check it during our day-night shifts. We'll check. At least you have someone checking on your residence while you're gone and stuff like that. We've been doing that for years,
as long as I've been here.
and I think it's very helpful and stuff like this. So, but if you don't do that, make sure that you have a trusted friend or a neighbor come by and check on your house regular, and also make them sure they check your mail or get your packages up.
If you have a neighborhood watch in your area, let your neighborhood watch captain know that you're going to be gone, so that they can get the word out and let everybody in the neighborhood help keep an eye on your house as well. If you don't have a community watch or neighborhood watch,
who can he call?
You can call me and I'll help you set one up. I think it's a great program. You're helping us by being our eyes and ears in the area, because unfortunately we can't be everywhere at once, you know, based on manpower and the need and priority calls and so on and so forth. But helping us keep an eye on your neighborhood lets us be proactive instead of reactive. You're calling on things that you see that you think may be suspicious, and let us come and intervene and check that out before it turns into something that could potentially be criminal.
All right, and let me throw this at you also. A lot of people ask me the question, especially when I'm out in public, Sheriff, I'd like to get a carry conceal permit. I'd like to purchase a handgun, stuff like this. If you're interested in purchasing a firearm and you're 21 years of age and stuff like this, you can come by the sheriff's office, or you can go online at rockingham-sheriff.com, or you can come by the sheriff's office and you can do your applications for a firearm purchase. In North Carolina, any transfer or purchase of a firearm from a federal firearms dealer or transfer from a private individual on a handgun requires a pistol purchase permit from the sheriff of that county in North Carolina. So that's one thing that you may want to do. Either come by our records division, or you can go online and get that information, which you have posted.
Exactly.
The other thing is, if you want to get a carry conceal permit, and ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you this, I'm a very big supporter of carry conceal firearms, licensed to carry conceal in the state of North Carolina, and actually I'd like to see it eventually where every state in the United States allows you to reciprocal, where you can go in any state with your permit and be recognized. Because you shouldn't lose your right to protect yourself and your family when you cross the state border. But it's going back to local, back to North Carolina. If you're interested in getting your carry conceal permit, it does require that you do an application. It does require that you do some processing here at the sheriff's office, which takes about 15 minutes. But it also requires you to attend a 8-hour gun safety class that is taught by instructors that are approved by the state of North Carolina. And if you don't know who to call, a lot of the instructors, we have a list of instructors. They give us their names and number, and we provide that free to anybody who wants to know that who instructors are out there that are teaching these classes. But once you complete your carry conceal class, You bring that certificate to the sheriff's office, you fill out your application, and I think the fee is $95 for the first application, and then it drops down after 5 years. That permit is good for 5 years. It normally takes about 45 days.
45 days.
To get
average turnaround.
first
Sometimes
application.
a little bit less.
Let's say about 45 days or less to get your initial carry conceal permit once you do your application and everything, and you go through the processing. So, okay.
And you can download the application for that to save a little time. If you wanted to download the application to bring to the sheriff's office, you can do that on our website, RockinghamSheriff.com. Go under gun permits, and lower half of the page there's a section where you can click on it and print it out, fill it out at home. It's a good little application. It's several pages long, and that way you can do it at home and save yourself some time. Just bring it up here to the sheriff's office.
So I hope we gave you some good information there. I will tell you this, in Rockingham County, nearly 8,000 people have their carry conceal permits in Rockingham County. This year, I'd like to see us with 10,000.
Absolutely.
So, and remember this, we'd like to have a deputy or a police officer on every street corner, but we don't have that many officers and we don't have that many deputies. You're the first line of defense in protecting your family, but if you want to have a firearm and you want to keep a firearm in your home, or you want to keep a firearm with you when you go about lawfully, check into the carry conceal permit process in North Carolina. You can go online, but you can also go to our website to find out how to do that at RockinghamSheriff.com. And also, if you want to purchase a pistol purchase permit, so you can go out and purchase in North Carolina, then we're coming up on Christmas season. You need to come on in. But again, like I said, and I was just going to say for this week, if you want to know, we'll be open all week. But we will be closed for Christmas. What days will we close?
We'll be closed next Tuesday, the 24th, Wednesday the 25th, and Thursday the 26th.
And then we'll be back on Friday. So if you're interested before Christmas, I suggest you come on in and go ahead and get your applications done, and we'll try to get those processed as quick as we can. And again, that's a big question that I have. People say, how do I get a carry conceal permit? What's the process, and how to get a purchase permit? So you can go online to RockinghamSheriff.com and get that information.
All the information's there. Exactly. Just follow those directions. Now we've got not only 'tis the season. We have not only Christmas, but New Year's Eve coming up. There's going to be a lot of celebrations. I know that we'll end the show on a note here about some of the things that you should and shouldn't do, hopefully.
Let me just say this.
While celebrating.
Let me just say this. There'll be a lot of law enforcement officers, highway patrol, police officers, deputies, all across the county, all across the state out here during the holiday season. If you're going to consume, don't drive. If you're going to drink, don't drive. Have a designated driver. When you drive, wear your safety belts. Make sure you have your kids buckled up too. But if you are going to consume during the holidays, do not drive. Have a designated driver.
And be careful. Give yourself a little extra time for your travels, because there's going to be a lot of motorists out there. Exactly. Yeah. There's going to be a lot of motorists out there, a lot of extra travel going on during this time of year. So just give yourself a little extra time. So that'll help with the stress level, I believe, a little bit.
All right. I know that we're winding down. We're getting ready to come up on our Christmas period here, a Christmas season, and then we get into New Year's. But on behalf of the Rockingham County Sheriff's Office, I'm Sheriff Sam Page, Kevin Southard, our Public Information Officer. We'd like to wish you and your family a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year and a safe New Year.
Absolutely. And we'll see you next month. Thanks for tuning in.